So welcome again to another video here on our channel. Today we're going to be traveling all the way to Abu Dhabi, UAE, and today we're actually going to be traveling mostly on American Airlines from Raleigh-Durham to JFK, and then from JFK all the way to Doha, making our connection there. And we're going to be taking the Qatar Airways from Doha all the way to Abu Dhabi. So stay tuned as we travel to Middle East. So right now we just went through the check-in process with American Airlines. I couldn't check in online because they wanted me to actually come over here and do the check-in. So I just did that. I also have requested to be on the upgrade list, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the upgrade from JFK to Doha, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But if not, I'm going to be flying on the premium economy from JFK all the way to Doha. Oh, so I thought this video was going to be about that, but that's not what happened. So anyways, let me explain to you what exactly happened, and then we're going to get into the travel portion of it. We're going to talk about after the travel portion. I will come back at the end and I'll actually make my final thoughts on this flight from London to Abu Dhabi, starting all the way from Raleigh-Durham. So anyways, I was super excited because I was going to be making a review video of the premium economy class from JFK all the way to Doha. I booked that specific class because I've already flown on business class to Doha. I've also done economy class from Doha to New York. So this was actually the premium class cabin that I wanted to review. I've also reviewed already premium economy class from Zurich to Philadelphia. That video will be linked below. But I wanted to see how a longer flight, instead of an 8-hour flight, I wanted to do a more like 11, 12, 13-hour flight, how it will actually feel. So I was super excited to do that until I learned 2 days before actually my flight that there was a tropical storm coming. I didn't think of anything. I just thought, okay, maybe he's gonna do the same thing it does where it just passes us towards the water. It doesn't really come inland that much. But I was wrong. So what had happened is on the day of, flights were going fine. In the morning, I checked all the flights leaving New York and actually flights also going to New York, and there were no issues from Raleigh-Durham until the 12 o'clock flight that was delayed. Later on, I saw that my flight was still on time. The flight from New York actually arrived in Raleigh on time, no issues there. So I was at the airport waiting, and then 1 hour before we boarded to go to New York, I saw coming up on my app that there was a delay. And I looked at the delay. Initially, I thought, okay, if it's this 30-minute delay, it's not going to be a problem. But it was actually a 1 hour delay, which puts me within 5 minutes of my connecting flight, which is not good. I know initially when I booked that flight, I knew that the connection was tight. But given that it flies out of the same terminal, and I wasn't really looking to go much in the lounge in New York anyways, I was like, that's enough time for me to get there and be able to get on the next flight, and it wasn't going to be a problem. But because of that tight connection, there was just no way that I was going to be able to make it to my flight from New York to Doha. So because of that, I requested for them to see any other routes available. Initially, they were going to rebook me from Raleigh to Philadelphia, and then from Philadelphia take on to Qatar Airways flight from Philadelphia all the way to Doha, and then connect from Doha to Abu Dhabi. However, after they just rebooked me through Philadelphia, also the Philadelphia flight was delayed. So the storm was going from the south of the US all the way to the north part of the US. So all the major cities towards the east coast of the US were impacted. So because of that, thankfully the Raleigh-Durham to London flight did not leave yet. And this was a similar incident that I had in the past, and I can link that video there as well, which happened where I was actually traveling to Doha, and my flight was also delayed, and I was going to miss my flight, and I had to rebook myself through London as well. So thankfully the flight from Raleigh-Durham to London was still operating. So I was able to get onto that flight, get into London, change terminals, and then from there flying on Etihad. Now Etihad only had economy seats available there. There's no premium economy. so I was not booked in there. And also they were flying the A380, which it was completely full and sold out. So, but anyways, I just took that option and this is where we are now. So I want to start from there on our travel part from Raleigh all the way to London, London to Abu Dhabi. So let's get to the video. So real quick, before we actually get to that video, if you're not a subscriber, here on our channel, we provide you with travel tips in the format of flight and hotel reviews. Also, we provide you different tips on how to save money when traveling, how to book properly, how to be safe when you travel. If this is the type of content that actually interests you, consider subscribing. And if you enjoy this type of video, smack the like button and share with many other friends. So let's go. So right now we just went through the check-in process with American Airlines. I couldn't check in online because they wanted me to actually come over here and do the check-in. So I just did that. I'm already checked in. Right now I'm gonna try to get to clear and then go through the TSA pre-check, and then we're gonna go and have access to the lounge. And not because of my ticket, but I have access to the lounge because of my status with American Airlines. So let's go now. They're more likely going to tell me that I need to verify myself because all the time, that's what happens. So when I got checked in, my TSA pre-check number was not on the boarding pass, so I had to be sent back again. So now we got that sorted out. We're going to try it again. Okay, so we're past the TSA pre-check. It took about 5 minutes, and just because they were really passing the bags slowly right there at the check-in. But other than that, we're good. We're ready to go to the lounge now. So I'm now going to the lounge for American Airlines. Even though I'm flying with premium economy, I still have access to this. With the changes that Delta just implemented, I'm hesitant to see, or I want to see what American Airlines will be doing, because they might follow suit to what Delta just did. So right now we are at the Admirals Club here in Raleigh-Durham, and we're just going to be waiting here for the next 3 hours before we catch our flight to JFK. And hopefully we can get there on time, because right now there's a storm that is going on right now here. But hopefully we can make it on time so we can catch our connected flight to Doha. And again, I just want to talk quickly, why am I going to Abu Dhabi on this travel? There's actually something I want to do, and it's going to be coming on the channel soon, which is going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, we're going to be going to Abu Dhabi for the next few days. We'll spend maybe 4 or 5 days there, and then from there we'll be coming back to the US. So anyways, initially we were supposed to be going to New York to Doha. Our flight has just been informed that it's delayed, and which will put me at the tight connection time, which most likely I will not make it to that flight. So right now I am now on the flight to Philadelphia and Philadelphia to Doha. We will see how that goes, but as of right now I've actually lost the premium cabin that I was sitting on because only economy seats are available right now. So that's what we're going to be doing. But if that flight also gets delayed further, then I may need to reconsider this entire trip. So stay tuned, we'll see if that actually happens. So anyways, I'm on my way now to the gate. So plans have changed. Initially I was supposed to be flying to JFK to Doha, Doha to Abu Dhabi. So now we're going to actually change plans. The plan is now to go to London to Abu Dhabi. I've already done a video to London, flight from Raleigh-Durham, so I'm not going to do this really. This is more just me showing you my journey to Abu Dhabi now, just because plans have changed. So we're now going to go and board the flight from Raleigh to London, and then we're going to record maybe the Etihad economy class, which is kind of a blessing. So now we're going to see how the economy class goes. So yeah, that's part of travel, right? when you're traveling, there could be changes in your itinerary, and this is why it's always important to always be ahead of time at the airport. So anyways, we're going to show you how this flight goes. It's not really much of a review because we've done this already. We've done both the business class and we've done the economy class to London, but now we're just gonna travel to London. All right, let's get going. So now our travel plans have changed thanks to the London flight not having left yet, but they were boarding as soon as I got there to the gate and made my way quickly to board. All right, we're now boarding and getting ready to go to London instead of going to Doha. So anyways, you gotta always change your plans sometimes. So if you have watched our previous videos, we have taken this flight several times. So for the configuration on this 777-200, you have the business class with 2 cabins in the configuration of 121, and right behind it, it is the premium economy with the configuration of 232, and then the economy class on the 343. We are sitting in the exit row, seat 26L, and no one is in the middle on seat 26K. So we are seated in already on our seat, so we're ready to travel to London and then to Doha. So right now I got an exit row, and again, I've reviewed this type of seat already on our channel, so I will show you how it looks like. There's plenty of space that I have, so which kind of feels fine as premium economy really. The only difference is going to be the meal provided here versus what I would have gotten if I was sitting actually on in the premium economy. So, but anyways, the flight is not 100% full. There's still some seats available. So far so good. I've taken this flight before. Again, we reviewed this in the past, so it's not going to be any different on this one here. So again, the whole purpose of this is to capture my travel journey to Abu Dhabi, not so much of doing much of this review. If you want to see a review of that one, I've on my channel. I actually linked it right now. You can actually check that one out. So let's review what is given to you and what is around the seat. You have a blanket and a pillow. So over here you do have a remote controller. There's right there. You can control the TV. The TV is underneath here. Actually, you see now. This TV will come out this way. And we'll review this after we take off. But this is the TV. So this flight looks like this. And there you have here the remote controller. And this is the seat that reclines to move the seat backwards. There's a power outlet right there. That's a leg room. Then no seats in front of you. The only difference is there is no window here, so absolutely zero window. And here in the seat pocket, you do have a menu of the flight information here, and then here you also have in-flight entertainment stuff. We started pushback to taxi to the runway, and you can see the rain coming down hard from the storm. At the same time, the Delta flight to Paris is also leaving. This flight will end its run at the end of October, giving way to Air France, who will take over that route.
You all do it for one reason. Safety is so important to us. So let's go over some in-flight instructions so that we can get you safely on your way.
To buckle your seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle. This also equipped with the shoulder belts. Fasten the belt by attaching it to the buckle.
Now that we are in the air, let's see what American Airlines has to offer on their IFE. As mentioned in the past, American Airlines IFE is really beefed up with lots of selections. The one downside on this particular flight, there was no live TV, making me miss the game of my alma mater, trashing out Iowa. Other than that, lots of movie and shows to select from. The meal service began and I opened up my tray table only to find it dirty. I missed the good old cleaning days of you know what, when airlines were truly cleaning their aircraft. On today's meal service on American Airlines Economy Class, the options are disappointment chicken or sad pasta. Of course, I went with disappointment chicken. It was truly disappointing. One of the issues with getting the exit row near the toilet is that people gather around it, making it difficult for you to sleep. So be mindful of this seat. I tried sleeping during this flight and was able to get at least 3 hours of sleep. I was woken up and the second meal was being served, which is the granola bar, yogurt, and fruit. We started making our descent into London with beautiful views of the city. I didn't regret one bit sitting where I sat, as I enjoyed the views of London Bridge, the London Eye, Big Ben, and more. It was like getting my own personal tour of London in the sky.
Welcome to London Heathrow International Airport. Local time is approximately 6:20 a.m. We realize that you have a choice in air travel. We'd like to thank you again for choosing American Airlines. We hope to see you soon on the future American Airlines flights. We hope you enjoy your stay here in the London area or where your final destination may take you. Have a pleasant day.
We arrived in London a few minutes early and we were on our way to connect to Terminal 4. This process can take anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes, as the connection time from one terminal to another can be about 20 minutes. Then you have to factor in the transit security line, which at times can be long, so be mindful when connecting to London, especially if you are changing airport and terminals. In Terminal 4, we made it to the only lounge that could accept Priority Pass, and this is the Blush Lounge. Although this lounge is small, it's really cozy, offering breakfast items along with drinks and sweets. And now I'm here in London Heathrow, waiting in Terminal 4 to be able to catch the flight. Etihad Economy Class all the way to Abu Dhabi. So again, I lost my premium economy seat that I wanted to try on this long haul. This is going to be another 7-hour flight and it's going to be all in economy, but fear not, because that's actually one of the benefits of this is to be able to review sometimes classes that most people actually fly on. Not all the flights are always in business class or premium classes, but majority of people are flying actually in economy class, and they probably want to see how things are. So that's what we're going to be doing on this review now. One thing to be aware here in Terminal 4 is that when you are here, there's a couple of lounges that are available, but only for premium classes for these airlines. I went to Premium Plaza lounge and they say that it's not available because it's apparently booked by other airlines. So they have these lounge here right now. There's different lounge that they have. It's also operated by Premium Plaza anyways, but this is where I am. It's small, it's not as big as all the ones, but it's a pretty nice place to be. It's cozy, great food so far no issue. So yeah, this is where we're going to be spending the next few minutes before we actually go and catch our flight. So just the limitation of lounges available here at Terminal 4, that's just something for you to be mindful of. So this is going to be another 7-hour flight, and once we get there, we will be able to enjoy our time. All right, so we're now going to the gate to go board our flight to Abu Dhabi with Etihad Airways on their economy class. So we're going to be doing this review to show you how our experience is from the flight perspective. So we arrived here at Heathrow and from American Airlines flight, and then we went to the connecting point between Terminal 3 and Terminal 4. It took about 40 minutes for the entire process, going through immigration and everything, going through security and everything else. And then now I'm here in Terminal 4, which is really not my favorite terminal here in London. So here specifically at LHR, it is just a one straight row of gates and security, but it's very bland. But still has the usual suspect stores and restaurants, everything that you also find in the other terminals. As far as lounge is concerned, it's very limited. As I stated, primarily they cater to only premium classes or cabin, which then it eliminates the people who have other cards such as American Express or priority passes to have access to a lounge. But anyways, we just came back from the lounge and now making our way to our gate where we're going to be boarding and heading to Abu Dhabi. So let's go to our gate. Boarding for Etihad was a bit chaotic in the beginning. Thankfully, I had priority boarding, which allowed me to be one of the first people on board. Okay, we just boarded in. There was a minor issue with my ticket, but we got that sorted out. So now we're going to the plane. So this is the first time that we're setting foot ever on Etihad Airways. So every experience will either make it or break my future desire to fly with them ever again. Now we're boarding their Airbus 380, which is the lower deck is all economy class with 417 seats, while the upper deck is first and business class, which has 10 of them are first class and 70 seats is business class. We are going to concentrate only on the lower deck as we are flying this class. The lower deck comprises of 4 sections of all economy classes with configuration of 343, with exception of the exit row having 242. Now, from the first glance, this is a beautiful cabin with the exception of the legroom, at least from where I'll be sitting, and I will show you this shortly. All right, so right now we are seated here in our seat in economy class. So I'm in 76H, which is the aisle seat, and there's 2 other seats next to me. And then we're going to show you exactly what we have here on our space. First of all, legroom is very limited. As you can see, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'10", 5'11"-ish, but as you can see, not much leg room there really left here. And then over here, you get the USB. You have the headphones jack, and there's a remote controller here that you can use. You can press the button here to take it off, which then comes off. Then, of course, you have the screen that is there. And then over here, you do have the power cable. And here, there's a coat hook. But again, with limited space, I don't know where you actually put your coat. I'd much rather store it overhead. And the tray table comes off like this, and when the tray table comes out, it's very tight to be honest. And you can see it's dirty right here. So we're gonna close this now. So they also give you headphones. We'll show you how it looks like, but I have my own to use, but they do give you headphones, which is pretty cool. And then you get a blanket as well, and also you get a pillow. I'll show you a pillow in a second. And this is the pillow that you get, which is pretty awesome for economy class, at least in comparison to other airlines. The only difference is just the seat space. It is crammed. So I've been told that this is going to be a full flight. There'll be no seats available to change or anything, so it's a completely booked flight. So it's amazing on this 380 how it's already sold out. So we're going to see how the experience goes for this 7.5-hour flight. First impression of this cabin was great. However, one complaint is that the cabin crew were not as friendly as other airlines in the Middle East that I have flown before. We will elaborate more later in the flight. For now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy this flight to Abu Dhabi.
Welcome on board today's flight. Your safety and wellness are our priority, so we appreciate your full attention as we take you through this demonstration. Your seatbelt must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is implemented. To fasten, insert the metal clip into the buckle. To adjust, pull on the strap. Adjust by pulling on the straps. Always.
We started our push back to taxi, and one cool thing about this A380, there's a camera for you to see what is happening outside, especially for those not sitting by the window. You have the view from the TV screen as well as the remote controller, which is really cool. The takeoff coming up. Now that we are in the air, let's look at the IFE for Etihad. They had live TV and I watched some soccer match, as you will see later. Overall, a lot of selections for movie. Now onto the first ever toilet review on A380. There were 6 toilets in the back of the last cabin. Alright, so anyways, I'm here in the bathroom trying to basically give you a summary because it's full flight. So it's really hard to try to record it over there, but it's super full. But so far so good, apart from the leg room space. It's not bad flight, to be honest. We still have about 6 hours to go, so I'll let you know how that goes. But so far so good here. Again, this is the first time I was flying on Etihad Airways, so this is the first time flying with them. So far so good. The cabin crew seemed a little bit colder in comparison to like Qatar Airways, but that's not going to stop us from enjoying and being able to actually go into Abu Dhabi and have a great time. So anyways, I hope you're enjoying this flight, and this is our first little review of Etihad Airways. So let's do this little review now. The toilet is your standard airplane toilet with limited space. There's a sink with no amenities. If you're traveling with the little one, there's a changing table. There's a standard toilet tissues and a large mirror for you to watch yourself when handling your business. Alright, enough of this. Let's go back to our seat. As you can see, this was a very full flight with absolutely no open seats. The meal service began exactly 1 hour after takeoff, which is really long time to wait for the meal. The meal presentation from Etihad was really good, with this sturdy black plastic holding the meal. They also had metal utensils, which is rare for economy class. For our meal, we went with the beef stew with mashed potato and carrots. This meal was actually better than the meal I received in economy class with American Airlines. Etihad has the service where you can call and order directly from the TV. I thought this was really cool service until I tried it and it just did not work and was not available for this flight. What a bummer. The other cool thing about this flight is that you can watch TikTok videos from the IFE. This is great to keep teenagers from being bored during the flight. In the back of the plane, there's a stairway that leads to the business class upper deck area, but it was blocked off. Maybe next time I will be up there. 1 hour prior to landing, the second meal service began and it was a vegetarian sandwich, which was not that good for me. We started making our descent into Abu Dhabi, and here's my thought on this flight, especially on the crew. Overall, from the flight itself, it was good. We departed and landed on time. The seats were comfortable, although the legroom was lacking. The IFE was great to keep one busy during the flight, and the meal was good. As for the crew, I'm not sure if they were happy to be working on this day. At one point, I pushed the call button to see how long it was going to take for them to come. And I waited and waited and waited, and no one came. The light was on for 15 minutes. While this was happening, I could see them in the galley talking to each other and one other passenger. After finally being fed up, I flagged one of them down, to which her response was, "We are too busy." Wow, what a response. That was a real downer and a deal breaker. Not sure what was going on with this particular crew, but they didn't care for their passengers and had no desire to assist. Not sure if this is an isolated incident or if others have faced similar situation. Let me know in the comments if you had similar experience or a better one. To be honest, this experience kinda left a sour taste in my mouth with the airline. However, I have to fly back home with them and we will see how the experience will go. Do I recommend Etihad? For sure. If you don't have a choice in your route, then yes. But if you do have options between them and other Middle Eastern airlines such as Emirates or Qatar, go with them. Even in the economy class, the service is for sure better. We land at the airport, and after a short time of taxi, we make our way to our gate.
Welcome to Abu Dhabi. The local time here is 7:40 p.m. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft is stopped completely and the seatbelt signs are switched off. Please take care when opening overhead storage containers and belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Remember that smoking is not.
We disembark and go straight to immigration and customs before we picking up our car and head to our hotel. So we just arrived in Abu Dhabi right now, and yeah, after 7.5 hours of a flight, we're here. There's a lot of things that I can say about the flight, which I'll explain shortly once I get out of the airport. But for some reason there were just a couple of incidents with the flight crew that were just not great or friendly, which really leads me to think that at least with Etihad, they need to train their staff better. So we have another flight with them. We'll compare that customer service based on that class. But as of right now, in the economy class, I was not too impressed about it. But I'll talk about it shortly. So we just arrived in Abu Dhabi, and we're gonna go through immigration. And after that, we'll grab a car and then figure out where we want to stay at the hotel. We really don't have a hotel yet, but we might either go to either the hotel in Abu Dhabi or might go to Dubai. So we don't know yet. Anyways, I'm now here in my hotel in Abu Dhabi, and I want to just conclude this video. So a couple of observations. Overall, the flight was great. No problem as far as the flight itself. The issue comes with customer service. Again, it's not really a complaint. It's more so of what my observation was. The crew were not as friendly as you would think they were. Maybe because they were operating the economy floor, and that's probably why. But I feel like if the economy floor is the most people on your flight, that's where the most attention should be given to. Again, I do understand that there's other people that have paid premium prices and they have their service already, because I have no doubt that the business class and the first class service is outstanding. But also I just want to make sure that also the economy class passengers can feel the same way. Not everybody's privileged to fly in these high-end classes or cabins, so most people are flying economy class, and if that's the experience that they get, then it's really subpar against their other competitors such as Emirates or even Qatar Airways, even some American airline flights, US-based airlines. They're better when it comes to Etihad. Again, if they're watching this, please, by all means, it doesn't mean that I hate the airline or anything like this. I'm just expressing my experience during that flight. So one of the incidents specifically was in regards to, I have a call button, and the call button called for, I waited for about 20 minutes before I can actually flag someone down. They didn't even come to me. I had to flag them down and ask them why it took them 20 something minutes for them to answer to that, which, and then her response was like, "We're too busy right now." And I could clearly see them in the galley having a conversation and not really paying attention to the customer, but it took 20 minutes for them to come and resolve an issue. So that's a problem. So if they're watching, I hope you guys can be able to work on that when it comes to customer service. As I said, I'm going to be flying back on their premium class, and we're going to compare that as well. But as of right now, my experience with economy class when it came to customer service, it was subpar. It was not to the expectation that I had, at least for a Middle Eastern airline. So I don't know if you've had the same experience or not. If you did, comment below. If you had a better experience, comment below. We're here to hear it all. So again, it's not a bash of the airline. It's just me specifically stating what I experienced during this flight from London to Abu Dhabi. Other than that, as I stated, it was a great flight. Again, this was not supposed to be the video I was going to be making. I was supposed to be making a review of American Airlines Premium Economy from New York to Doha, but unfortunately I was not able to do that because of flight changes, delays that was going to make me actually miss my flight anyways. So to not risk it, they rebooked me. So anyways, I hope you enjoy watching this video. If you did, smack the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to our channel and share this video with a lot of other friends. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.